So you're thinking about moving to Minneapolis, Minnesota, but you're kind of on the fence. Well, perfect. Glad you stopped by. Because today, in this video, I'm going to go through my top 5 pros and cons of Minneapolis, Minnesota. And if you stick around till the end, I'm going to share some of the best kept secrets of the community. And we're going to get after it right now. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything that there is to know about living in Minneapolis, Minnesota, well, you've come to the right place. Click that subscribe button, tap that notification bell, and smash that like button on the way in so you can be the first one to know about the current market in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Now, my name's Garrett Hilton. We get calls, texts, emails every single day from people just like you looking for help on making their move to Minneapolis, Minnesota. And we absolutely love it. So whether you're making your move in 9 days or 90 days, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. We'd be happy to make your move to Minneapolis, Minnesota a smooth one. With over 20 years of experience helping families purchase their dream home in and around Minneapolis, and having lived here my entire life, I'm a dad and stepdad of 3. We go up north to the Lakeshore property. I have an idea what makes Minneapolis so special. And coming in at pro number 1 is no exception. We have a thriving job market. Minneapolis is a hub for tons of job opportunity. Whether you are in healthcare, finance, tech, we've got it all in Minneapolis. No matter your career path, we've got something for you in and around Minneapolis. Here's a couple of examples. Target, which is headquartered right downtown Minneapolis. Best Buy, our huge corporate headquarters, is just south of Minneapolis in Richfield. So we're talking like a 7-8 minute drive from Minneapolis proper. You've got, oh my gosh, you've even got innovative companies like 3M, which is massive in Maplewood, Minnesota, which is like a 20-minute drive, or maybe I think like a 40-minute bus ride to work, like if you live in downtown Minneapolis, or excuse me, like the urban areas of Minneapolis, like northeast, southwest, southeast. It's really a hub for lots and lots of great industry and some really good choices. Our job market's really strong in Minnesota, especially in Minneapolis, which gives you great opportunity for advancement and to be able to set up shop, put down roots, and stick around for a while. Coming in at pro number 2, education. In Minneapolis, we have got education on lock. Education is a top priority in Minneapolis, with schools like Washburn High School, Southwest High School. There are tons of opportunities with Spanish immersion, Chinese immersion, Japanese immersion, tons and tons of niche schools that give you your pick of the litter, whatever you would like, how you want that education for your children and for yourselves. We also have the U of M that's right there in Minneapolis. Tons of opportunity there with extended out like the agricultural programs that are in Falcon Heights and in Roseville. And then of course the campus. Oh my gosh, the campus that just provides such a great opportunity as it relates to creativity and the community that's built around, in and around the U of M. Dude, it's massive. That extends all the way down to like Mankato, Rochester, and even up into the northern suburbs, but the main hub is right there in Minneapolis. And for higher education, you can't beat the University of Minnesota. With its prestigious programs and vibrant campus life, it's a fantastic place for students. And as a dad of 3, I can personally vouch for the quality of education here in Minnesota. In my view, it's truly a great place to raise a family. Coming in with pro number 3, rich cultural scene. Culture lovers, rejoice! Minneapolis is brimming with arts and entertainment. Visit the Walker Arts Center for contemporary art, that will blow your mind. Or catch a play at the iconic Guthrie Theater, known for its stunning architecture and world-class productions. And if you're a music fan, don't miss out on First Avenue, the legendary venue where Prince filmed Purple Rain. There's always something happening in Minneapolis, from art fairs to music festivals. Coming in, pro number 4, outdoor activities, baby. If you love the outdoors, Minneapolis is your playground. With over 180 parks and 22 lakes within the city limits of Minneapolis, there's no shortage of activities. Head over to Lake Calhoun, now known as Bidi-Makaska, for paddle boating and picnicking. And Minnehaha Falls, offering breathtaking views and tons of photo opportunity for nature photography for amateur and professional photographers alike. And tons of hiking trails for you explorer types that have that wandering heart. You'll absolutely love all the hiking trails. It's nuts how many miles of trails they have in Minneapolis. Even in winter, you can enjoy ice fishing on Lake Nokomis or cross-country skiing on Theoworth Parkway. It's a city that embraces all seasons. Coming in at pro number 5. Woo! Foodies, get ready to indulge. Minneapolis food scene is a culinary delight. For fine dining, try Spoon and Stable in the North Loop, run by James Beard, boasting award-winning chef Gavin Kaysen. For a unique experience, you must absolutely have to have a Juicy Lucy. Which, if you don't know what a Juicy Lucy is, just stop by Matt's Bar or the 5A Club. They're apparently, well, self-toutedly, the ones who created the Juicy Lucy burger, filled with delicious, gooey, cheesy goodness. And don't miss the global flavors at Midtown, where you can sample cuisine from around the world under one roof. Coming in, pro number 6. Now, I know, you were only planning on 5 pros, but guess what? Here's a bonus pro for watching, so thank you very much. And I know you're a real patient audience. We're gonna talk about healthcare, baby. Minneapolis has some of the best healthcare facilities in the country. Children's Minnesota is one of the largest, prestigious pediatric health facilities in the country. My son's been there, my daughter's been there. Dude, it's crazy how awesome they are. Bedside manner with the families, with the kids, and just the way they provide things for families that are out of town, that maybe have a child that is battling cancer or maybe is going to be needing a transplant. Absolutely mind-blowing. That's why we gotta talk about this. Every time I talk about Minneapolis or just Minnesota in general, gotta talk about healthcare. So for those of you that are concerned about breast cancer, oh my gosh, the University of Minnesota and our healthcare facilities that cater to those with breast cancer, absolutely second to none. Absolutely will blow your mind. The University of Minnesota Masonic Cancer Center offers absolutely cutting-edge technology, providing patients from all over the world with doctors with innovative ideas and sharing of those ideas and drawing in some of the world's best doctors here, right here, Minneapolis, in Minnesota. So cool. And just a short drive down to Rochester, you'll find the world-renowned Mayo Clinic, a leader in medical research and patient care. Whether it's a routine checkup or it's a specialized treatment, we got you. We take care of our peeps here in Minnesota. Now, like anything, what goes up must come down. Let's talk about the cons of living in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Coming in at con number 1. Harsh winters. Oh my gosh. We do have harsh winters most of the time. Now, like this last year, it was pretty sad. Pretty brown. Not so much of a white Christmas, though. But if I'm being honest, Minnesota winters, they're no joke, man. They're long, cold, snowy. From November to March. Temperatures can drop to an average of 10 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 12 Celsius. Negative numbers always scare me. Don't worry, you're not alone. They scare me too. Even after living here my entire life, it still sucks dealing with the cold. But it's just part of the beauty of Minnesota. Many have said, many comedians at least that I've listened to here on YouTube and all over TikTok and stuff, have said, I love Minnesota. It's got 4 seasons, 4 crappy ones. I don't agree with that. I think Minnesota's got an absolute bouquet of weather that's pretty darn temperate. And it's changed a lot over the years. I remember snowy times when, snow was like 5 feet. It was a lot, and it was miserable. And it doesn't seem like, as I've gotten older, it hasn't really been that bad. And maybe it's just because I was 2 feet tall and I was like a 4-year-old when I'm thinking all the way back to when snow was 5 feet deep every single winter. But I digress. But don't let that scare you off, guys, because this city is well equipped to handle it. We got plow trucks the moment it starts, or right before, to preempt and deal with the snowstorms. They're already putting out that anti-slick, anti-icing stuff, like squirting it all over the streets and everything. It's kind of fun to watch. You know, it's almost like you know when it's about to snow, because all of a sudden you see the plow trucks and they're spreading the anti-icing on the actual roads themselves to help keep people safe, in hopes of having less accidents and less drama on the roads. Downtown Minneapolis has heated skyways. Plus, there are plenty of activities to keep you toasty warm and entertained, like the Winter Carnival in St. Paul and ice skating in Minneapolis at the Depot. Con number 2, high property taxes. Another downside is relatively high property taxes. While this helps fund our excellent public school systems and our health care, it's something to consider when budgeting for your new home. For example, in Minneapolis, property taxes can range from about 1.2% to 1.5%. Now, if you were to compare that to either Texas or Florida, Texas is right around like 1%, maybe a little less. Florida, around the same range. So let's say, for example, you were to buy a $100,000 property. In the state of Minnesota, you'd be talking $1,200 to $1,500 in taxes. In Texas, Texas. Sorry if I made that confusing. If you were to buy a $100,000 property in Texas, you'd be talking anywhere from like $800 to $1,000 in taxes. Florida, right around the same, $800 to $1,000, based upon a purchase price of $100,000. So while you may pay more living in the city of Minneapolis, it's important to remember that you're investing in the community. It's amenities. Amenities like our top-rated schools or our beautiful park system, which contribute to the overall quality of life. Coming in at con number 3, limited public transportation. Let's talk about public transport. Public transportation in Minneapolis is extensive, but not quite as extensive as some of the other major metropolises around America, like New York, Chicago, Texas, actually. Texas has a pretty darn good transit system. Florida has pretty decent. I would definitely say Minneapolis is much like the Florida. A lot of driving required, and they do have a really great bus system. However, we don't have like the subways and all that where you can get somewhere in 2 minutes and 1 minute and whatever. We mainly have the busing system. Our transit system downtown, pretty efficient, pretty all right. And you've got public parking systems, like to be able to park your vehicle and hit the transit on the way into downtown so you don't got to deal with as much traffic when you get done with work. Some people find this as a benefit. So I guess it's kind of a duality situation. And of course, the transit system that I'm referring to around like downtown is the North Star commuter rail that goes all the way up to Big Lake. I think it even extends to St. Cloud now, to make that commute super, super short and super easy to get into downtown, which has made it much cheaper for those that would otherwise have to commute over an hour to get to work. But for many, driving is still the best option. Coming in with con number 4. Mosquitoes in the summer. Summers in Minneapolis can be beautiful, but they also bring out The mosquitoes. If you're planning on spending a lot of time outdoors, be prepared to deal with these pesky little insects. Places like the chain of lakes are perfect for summer fun. However, remember to pack your bug spray. And while concerns about West Nile virus are understandable, it's really not that bad. Just as long if it's a really, really bad time like dusk or dawn, you're gonna wanna make sure you have a long sleeve shirt on. Less of a chance that you're gonna get bit up. Or just don't hang out at those times. But who doesn't love a beautiful sunrise or a gorgeous, rich, purple, pinks sunset in the state of Minnesota across the lakes? It's important to know, though, that the risk for West Nile virus is pretty low. Those simple precautions like using insect repellent, wearing a long sleeve shirt, maybe wearing a light jacket or a windbreaker when you're out in the evenings goes a long way. Plus, because mosquitoes are a major problem in the state of Minnesota, local health officials, they monitor all that stuff. And we also spray for mosquitoes to be able to lessen the amount or the swarms of them that would otherwise be there if we didn't spray insect repellent to kind of stop them at the source where they spawn. Summer temperatures in Minneapolis, they average anywhere from 70 to 85 degrees. Not too hot, not too cold, perfect for a summer tan. Coming in at con number 5. Traffic. Lastly, traffic congestion can be a bit of a problem, especially during rush hour. While it's not as bad as in some larger cities, it's still something to be aware of. Planning your commute and being strategic about travel times and routes that you're going to be going can help mitigate this. For example, taking advantage of HOV lanes that if you have another person with you, a passenger per se, on I-394 going across the cities, I don't know, it's like right on the bottom section, right around like Bloomington and South St. Paul, Inver Grove Heights, over there in Mendota Heights. Like if you can stay on that 394 lane and be in the HOV lane, doesn't really faze you when it's during traffic. But understand, during rush hour, things slow down. Or you can use apps like Waze that can find you shorter routes or save you a few minutes off of your drive time rush hour. And these can make your drive much smoother. And like when you're on neighborhood roads, they are wrought with stop signs, and many of the areas of Minneapolis only have one-way streets. You don't get to pass other cars. It's just this way, and then you got to go up a street, go over 2 streets, and then go back down the other way. Which, if you didn't grow up in that culture, it's kind of a pain in the butt. Now, I grew up in more of the suburban areas, so for me, one-way streets is like, blah! When I get freaked out and traffic is really, really heavy. However, they did this because many of the streets in between the homes were kind of narrow, and a lot of people park on the streets because they allow parking on the streets. And the efforts to redevelop the areas, as far as not like ripping out houses or anything, but just to make the roads safer, they've turned them into one-way streets and offer ample parking and plenty of space so you don't wind up smacking cars when you're going back and forth. Like some of those roads, like you're going past another car like zoom, and you might take off somebody's side mirror, which I don't know how you feel about this, but for me, I would just feel absolutely terrible if I smack somebody's side mirror. That's kind of a thing. I've personally never done it, but I've got buddies and gal pals that are like, oh my gosh, I've totally done that before, and I feel terrible when that happens. It's kind of the risk that you take parking in city streets and urban streets, but that's one of the ways that Minneapolis tried to acquiesce to the demands of the neighborhoods, people that are commuting, and more cars on the streets. So whether you're drawn to the vibrant culture scene or the job opportunities, and maybe you're wary of the harsh winters and property taxes, it's important to weigh these factors with making a choice to move to either Minnesota in general or moving specifically to Minneapolis. Now, if you have any questions in your search for a home in the Twin Cities, anywhere surrounding suburbs as well, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. We'd be happy to answer any and all of your questions. Hey everybody, Garrett Hilton one last time here. Just wanted to say thank you so very much for watching the video all the way to the end. And we want you to know, if you click that subscribe button, tap the notification bell, and smash that like button on your way out, you will have 10 years of good luck. I'm just totally kidding. Whatever. I hate those videos that do that kind of stuff because then I always feel guilty, but I'm not really sure about it. So I click anyways and I subscribe. You should just do it anyways. We love you guys. Thank you very much. You stay classy.